Hey guys, now buying a car battery is probably the most mundane thing for you and I, because you'll be thinking, hey, it's a car battery lah. You go there, you get the right size, you stick it into your car, you make sure that it's charged, and you crank it up and you're good to go. But I'm sure there's a little bit more thinking that goes behind choosing the right car battery, and then you got questions like, hey, dry or wet, hey, which one? So now we are here at the top of the world and we're going to get answers as to which battery goes to whom and what is the story behind the humble car battery. So we have the General Manager of Century Batteries, Mr. Suresh Nanu.
Hi, well,
You're going to be my doctor and you're going to tell me everything I need to know about a car battery, right? Okay, first things first, surprise me. Tell me something I didn't know about a car battery.
Before that, I'll tell you that 80% of people don't even know what battery they have in their car.
Okay.
So that's number one.
Wait, hold on, let me think. I'm not that 80%. Okay, I'm the 20%.
So you know what you are.
Yeah.
Excellent. The second thing is, when you change a battery, it's usually a very high stress event.
Okay.
Your car can't start.
Yeah.
You're looking for a battery. So it's a high stress time. And then you're making decisions as to what you want.
Yep.
So I think a good place to start would be to understand what is a battery and how does it work.
Yep.
So maybe I could spend a couple of minutes on that.
Yeah,
Is that right?
let's have a look. Let me help you with that. Okay.
Thank you. So this is a cutout of our marathoner battery.
The innards of a battery, yeah?
And it's, in this case, a maintenance-free or dry battery.
Okay.
When they say dry and wet, actually there's no difference. Everything is wet.
Okay.
There's acid inside. It's whether you can access it through these vent plugs. Okay, you can take it out, or it's sealed and you can't access it. That's called dry.
So from the battery's perspective, everything is wet.
Everything is wet.
The difference between wet and dry is you and I lah.
That's right.
Do we get wet when we're handling it?
Right.
That's it.
So if you cut away a battery, you will see that in it, there's lots of what we call grids and plates, and these carry the lead and acid, which covers it. All of them are connected together. So when you connect it to a load, such as your starter, your ignition, or your lights, then you get the electricity going.
Got it. Okay.
So that's the first thing. Now, what is important to understand is that the quality of these things differ in different batteries.
Okay. How?
Well, all of them have what we call grids.
Okay, let me help you with
Okay,
that.
they start with grids, and on top of the grids, they put a lead paste.
Okay.
And then these are then enveloped in separators so that they don't touch each other.
Yep.
And then they are connected through lugs at the top here, right through, so that you have 6 cells, each 2 volts, so you get 12 volts.
Got it.
So your battery is 12 volts.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what makes each one of these batteries different? Some of them very expensive, some of them not so expensive.
It's this stuff.
It's this stuff.
When the water loss happens, where does the water go?
Actually, it evaporates.
But it's a
There are
sealed...
vents. Okay,
there are
the
vents.
yes, in the seal batteries, what they do is they have a vent system that allows the water to recirculate.
Got
So
it.
condense again back into the battery.
That's the MF battery.
That's the MF battery, so
Okay.
maintenance free. So what we have now is 2 price points generally. A bit more expensive for maintenance free, less expensive for conventional, but it depends on the person.
Okay, so which brings me to the next question of who buys what.
Okay, so it really depends on your usage.
Okay.
If you tend to be a person that travels in a lot of traffic jams, and you have a lot of heat and vibration, because remember, these are the grids, and this is the paste on top of the grids. So if you have a lot of vibration, you go over, you see a bump, you go faster, it will start to shed. That's what we call shedding. So shedding will happen.
Okay.
And if shedding happens, you have short circuits and the battery fails. So we're getting into the killers of batteries.
Okay.
So heat is a killer because more evaporation.
Yep.
So maintenance free, a bit better. Conventional is okay, but you got to keep topping it up.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's try to make a profile out of this. So what sort of person would be buying the maintenance-free battery, and what sort of person, so what sort of application? Is it somebody who drives a car that they don't drive very often, a second or a third car perhaps?
Yes.
For a conventional
Actually,
battery?
the rate of discharge on a conventional battery is much steeper.
Okay.
So that means It's a shorter period of time, the battery will discharge and sulfate, what they call sulfate.
Okay.
Whereas in a maintenance-free battery, the rate of discharge, because it's calcium as opposed to antimony, it will be slower, longer rate of discharge. So that means if you use your car less, maintenance-free battery is probably best for you. Now, when you discharge, as soon as you start the car and run it, it starts to charge again.
Charge again, yep.
Okay? The battery is actually not used during the car's running because your alternator takes over. All right?
Yep.
So, I think for a person that requires city driving, that requires a battery that will last a period of time, and they're not really that conscious about constantly checking every 2 weeks, check the level of acid, then I say go for a maintenance-free battery.
Maintenance-free battery, yeah. Now, final bits here. Top tips about caring for your battery, regardless of whether maintenance-free or conventional battery.
Okay, like I said, the main killers of battery is number one, heat. So I know we live in a hot country, so we can't get away from that. But there are things that you can put over a battery that can isolate the battery from the engine heat.
Okay.
Okay, so think about that. Many cars now come with that cover already. So they're trying to isolate the heat because the heat evaporates the acid in the battery. That's the first thing. The second thing is vibration. Avoid the potholes. Avoid the humps. Don't take off on the humps. The other thing that you always need to look at is whether there's corrosion on the terminals. So just have a look at the battery. See whether the terminals have got white stuff around it that you can just clean and maintain. Give it, if you're giving it to your workshop, ask them to clean it for you. Otherwise, if you have a coarse cloth or the sandpaper, you can use that lightly.
But not at the same time, yeah?
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
A shocking experience, yes.
Pun intended. Okay.
Okay, so I think those are the key things that you can look at how you maintain your battery. And like I said, we think that the choice depends on how you use the battery, but in most circumstances, a maintenance-free battery is probably less
of a hassle.
So
cool. Wonderful. One final question.
Yes.
And you've got 10 seconds to answer this.
Yes.
One of these batteries, let's say this Ultramax over here, this size, yeah? Besides powering your car, what else can it power?
Oh, it powers lots of stuff. You go to the markets, you find these batteries powering those.
The Pasar Malam.
Pasar Malam.
In your household?
It's amazing. Even in your household, you got a young kid in there who is trying to power his hi-fi and systems. It's done all sorts of things, actually. It's amazing.
Do
in
not
different
try
countries.
this at home.
Yes.
Not guaranteed for your safety. All right then. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
We're
much.
now clued in. Now that you're clued in about the battery that you need to choose when you go out and buy a battery for your car the next time round, make sure you make the right choices. Okay, stay with us on InGear because we've got a lot more stuff coming your way.